In this week's I Hate Numbers video, I'm going to be looking at motivation. Specifically, what motivation actually is, why it's so important for you and your business, and thirdly, what you can do to improve the motivation for you and your team. Hi folks, my name is Mahmood. I'm a business finance coach, accountant, tax advisor, and author of the book I Hate Numbers, and owner of the firm with the same name. Great name, huh? Now, over 28 plus years, I've been helping business owners like yourself make more money, improve your financial awareness and literacy, reduce stress, reduce tax liabilities, and make sure you have the business that you aspire to have. That's not a bad thing to want. Let's get on with the video. Firstly, what actually is motivation? Motivation at its simplest is actions that you're taking to achieve a specific outcome, a specific goal. Secondly, why is it so important in your business? Well, there are a number of positive reasons why motivation is so important for you and your team. It helps with productivity. It helps you make more money. It helps you actually achieve whatever you set out to achieve. It makes you achieve that in a much shorter time period here, and ultimately you have the business that you're actually looking to achieve. Goals are achieved. That's a great bit of dopamine rush to yourself, and that's going to be a wonderful feeling. Now, in the latter part of this video, I'm going to be focusing on what is it you can do to actually increase the motivation for you and your team. The first thing I would probably say is, if you have those days where you're feeling a bit worth and you're not quite feeling motivated, you don't feel quite energetic, you don't feel infused working in your business, then don't despair. It's perfectly natural that you will experience times, as we all have in business, where you feel demotivated. And the best thing to do is to embrace it and let it wash over you. Now, embrace that negative aspect of motivation, reflect on it, give yourself that creative time to let it wash over you, reflect, and maybe instead of just lounging in the sofa, watching TV, doing distracting activities, perhaps try and break those habits here by doing something like reading a book, going for a walk. But if you do experience negative motivation, then don't dismiss it out of hand. Now, more importantly, what can we do to increase motivation? The key thing about motivation is to make sure you've got clear, specific goals articulated. They're not making sure just that the goals are smart, but also that you and your team understand each of your contribution towards achieving that goal. Once you've articulated and shared those goals and you yourself fully understand what's going on, then you'll be more able to be more motivated. You understand the part that you are playing in that situation. Secondly, create a positive work environment. Positive work environments, which are learning environments, where you're not admonishing people, you're not micromanaging people, is going to be a great aid to positive work culture, and that's going to increase motivation. The third thing we can actually do is look at our rewards and feedback mechanisms that we have. Now, believe it or not, money is not the only motivator that makes individuals more motivated to achieve those outcomes. Finances are good. Certainly money is not an unimportant factor, but actually being recognized for your accomplishments, being recognised for what's going on, has a great impact on people's intrinsic motivations. The next thing to consider is that motivation can be one of two sorts. It can be extrinsic, which is basically from a reward system, from external validation, or it could be intrinsic, where you've got that power and the hunger to go forward. Now, that power and hunger that's intrinsic tends to be much more beneficial in the long term, but not everybody possesses that. So for those of you in your team that don't have that internal intrinsic motivation, don't be too hard on them. Now, what else can we do to increase the motivation? Well, we can make people more autonomous for what they're doing. So try and avoid micromanagement, let people have their own responsibilities for what they're achieving. And if there are mistakes that are made along the way, then that's a learning opportunity. That's not a finger waving opportunity and thing that you should engage in. Now, if all those aspects fire together, motivation will have that very powerful impact on your business to make you achieve what you set out to achieve. So apart from increased on the bank balance, which is always a good thing. Apart from increased profitability, better efficiency, better productivity, you're creating a nice environment where you feel very comfortable and the rest of your team will feel very comfortable as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What is it you do to actually increase your levels of motivation? And before we part from this video, there is one other factor to throw into the mix. You need to make sure you've got good self-care. So how you feel as an individual, that connection in terms of that rest, that relaxation, you might want to call it a work-life balance, but your own sense of well-being is going to be also very powerful to keep you motivated. Being very tired, very overwrought is not going to be good for anybody. So folks, I'd love to hear your thoughts about what you do to make yourself more motivated in your business. Remember to subscribe, and if you feel this video has been of use, share it with others who may benefit as well. And until next week, keep motivated.